Week 3 of the 2025 NFL season is here, and I'm here to tell you who's winning, who's losing, and how to make a little money this week, too. One day I'll get these intros figured out. I don't know. Last week it was kind of mid. Only a few underdog bets saved me from going under. I made a tiny profit. Week 1 was a big one. That's when I won the most at. So we're currently at about... All right, over here, I always forget it's mirrored. Like 2.26 units up. But now we're going to take it past 3 at least. I have a really good feeling about this, and you're going to see why if you tail any of these bets throughout this video. Now, shut your mouth, and let's talk ball. The Thursday night game. Hopefully I get this out. I'm recording this on Thursday, so hopefully I'm able to get this out on time. Tonight, before the game. Dolphins versus Bills. So as you can see, the lines have been moving pretty drastically. It opened at 8.5 and has since fallen to 12.5. That is insane. Vegas is fading the fuck out of the Dolphins in this division rivalry at home in Buffalo. If you know, historically, the Dolphins kind of get their cheeks clapped by the Bills pretty much every time they play. I think around this time last year, it was like week 2 last year. I think it was also Thursday Night Football, if I remember correctly. Dolphins versus Bills. Tua got that was Tua's most recent concussion. It took him out for a few weeks and kind of led to the Dolphins' mid-season collapse, where they found out that without Tua, they're one of the worst teams in all of football. With all that being said, the Dolphins, as you know, are on a big collapse right now, and I am betting, like I've said in my earlier videos, I am betting on the Dolphins' collapse, and while I don't usually like to take huge spreads, I got to. Bills are like Super Bowl bound the way they're playing. And Dolphins are, like I said, they're collapsing. They're gonna collapse. Mike McDaniels is getting fired this year. Tua's probably not gonna get re-signed. Tyreek might get traded. They might blow the whole fucking franchise up for everyone except A-Chan. So I'm gonna do something in this video, a few times about this video, that I don't normally do. You see how the spread's currently at minus 12.5? I'm going to take us one step further. Bills minus 13.5. I think right now it's at plus 100 odds. I'm betting it, putting a unit on it. I really think that Bills are going to blow out the Dolphins this game. It's not going to be close. And I'll take a 2-score, 14-point lead. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. Alright, that's all that needs to be said about that. Next game. Falcons versus Panthers. Not really much to say on this one. I'm not going to be betting it. The Panthers are, they're kind of falling apart. Bryce Young kind of had some flashes of his old season stuff during the Cardinals game last week at the end where they almost mounted that comeback, but, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so he's still lost. Meanwhile, the Falcons, they haven't totally impressed me. That Monday game was kind of a shit show. They kept it close with the Falcons. Not the Falcons, the Buccaneers week 1. I don't really have much to say about this one. I'm just not going to bet against the Panthers. I'm going to take the Falcons to win here. Maybe the Panthers could cover, but I'm not going to bet this game. I don't really care about it, to be honest. This game I do care about. The Packers versus the Browns. Packers, kind of like the Bills, are pretty much Super Bowl bound if Bills can overcome the Chiefs' playoff Achilles heel. Assuming the Chiefs even make the playoffs, but we'll talk about that later. I would not be surprised if this year we see a Packers versus Bills Super Bowl. That'd be pretty hype. Bills got their ass blown out by Ravens last week, and Packers have made 2 previous year contenders look like children. So once again, I am going to take a big spread here. Micah Parsons is going to Make Joe Flacco be running all night. Probably going to get 2 sacks, maybe. So the spread's currently at 7.5 for the Packers. I think, like similar to the Bills, they can go a little further. Give me a nice solid 9.5 point spread. Am I out of focus? I can't tell if I'm out of focus or not. Well, sorry if I was. But yeah, give me Packers 9.5. I'm betting it. I think odds right now are also at plus 100. We're taking a lot of technical underdog like plus 100 bets. We're going to the moon this week. We're going to the fucking moon. Tail if you want to make some money. Yeah, not much to say about that. Browns are just gonna get there. They're gonna get destroyed. Next game, Texans versus Jaguars. This one's spicy. Texans are 0-2. Jaguars are 1-1. Arguably should be 2-0. They, if Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't a massive choke artist and dropping passes like CD was dropping passes in Week 1 for the Cowboys. Yeah, like one caught touchdown pass in the end zone, and Jaguars would have beat the Bengals. So Jaguars are upset. They have the home field advantage. It's a division matchup. Texans are kind of desperate right now. They choked a game to the Buccaneers. They couldn't do anything really against the Rams. It's important that they win this game. Otherwise, their playoff chances are kaput, right? Because both these teams have to play catch up with the Colts. So something has to give here. And something will give. Even though the Texans are 0-2 and haven't shown as much potential as the Jaguars, I think the Texans' desperation here is what's going to put them ahead. They need a win. They need a win badly. So give me the Texans to win, Texans to cover. I'm not going to be betting it because I don't feel confident enough to bet on this game. But if Texans don't win, it's time to smash the panic button. Next game. Bengals versus Vikings. What should have been Joe Burrow versus JJ McCarthy has now turned into Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. I love football, baby. If you watched my reaction video a little bit ago, you know that I am a big Jake Browning stan, and I think he is low-key starting quarterback caliber, and this is going to be his 2026 campaign year to make a starting quarterback for another team that needs a quarterback that probably won't be able to draft one, like the Steelers or maybe the Saints. I don't know. He should have a starting quarterback job, and this is the game where he's going to prove it. Give me the Bengals to win, the Bengals to cover, and I'm betting this game. I'm betting on my boy Jake Browning. Jake, it's time to show the world who you are. You can, even if JJ McCarthy was playing, I probably still would have picked the Bengals, but now that it's Carson Wentz, yeah, I'll take Jake Browning all day. Fuck it. Next game, Steelers versus Patriots. This one is kind of similar to the Texans Jaguars game, not on as a more intense high stakes scale though. Steelers looked really good week 1 against the Jets. Then they played a better team in the Seahawks and got embarrassed, and Caleb Johnson might be never play a down of NFL football again. Meanwhile, the Patriots are coming off a week 1. They had I thought it was a predictable loss, even though Raiders were underdogs. I correctly guessed that they were gonna lose that game. No, Raiders are gonna win that game. Patriots will lose. Then week 2, Patriots, like I said, were able to overcome the Dolphins and further the collapse. Drake Maye is looking better like every week, man. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers is still looking. He didn't look as good week 1 as he did week 2, but I mean, he didn't look as good week 2 as he did in week 1, but he still got a little of that, Still kind of got it in him. This one is gonna be a close one. I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. I'm not gonna be betting it because I could definitely see the Patriots also winning, but I feel like the Steelers defense might be played just well enough to they're not gonna stop the Patriots, but they're gonna limit them enough so that the Steelers can overcome the Patriots defense and outscore them enough to win. Kind of like similar to how I said the Buccaneers would do against the Texans last week. Uh, Steelers need to fulfill the 9-8, 10-7 prophecy, and if they couldn't get it done against the Seahawks, and I guess the Seahawks are just kind of more legit than I give them credit for, this is definitely the kind of game that the Steelers can win to continue the prophecy. So I expect it to be close. That's why I'm not betting it, but give me Steelers to win, Steelers to cover 2, I guess. Next game. Rams versus Eagles. Now, if you remember the divisional game in the playoffs last year, or earlier this year, rather, last season, Rams, a similar situation, although now things are a little different. Rams are playing in Philly, but now there's no snow to bail the Eagles out, and the Eagles lost key pieces on defense, and the Rams are better because Devontae Adams has been balling out with Stafford. I'm taking the upset here. I think Rams should have beaten the Eagles. If it weren't for the snow, I think the Rams would have beaten the Eagles in the divisional round earlier this year. And now that's not snowing and Eagles are worse and Rams are better. I'm taking the Rams! I'm taking the Rams to win the game, cover the spread. I'm betting the money line. I believe in the Rams. I think this is where Eagles get low-key fraud checked. And I think this is going to be a good one. Give me Rams to win, Rams to cover, betting Rams money line, and make some money. Jets versus Buccaneers. Yikes. The Jets are looking like the Jets we all know and love. Week 1, I guess, was a fluke. And week 2, we brought him back to reality. I guess, I mean, to be fair, it happened to the Steelers as well, but the Steelers have way more going for them than the Jets do, I think. They got to play against a Buccaneers team who is 2-0, one of the best offensive units in the entire league. Bucky Irving is, playing like a crackhead, which is a good thing. Emeka Egbuka, the Eggman, is playing like he's playing at a level like he's not a rookie. He's playing like a guy with like years under his belt already, like veteran experience. Mike Evans is Mike Evans, and Mayfield Baker, the touchdown maker. I mean, and not to mention, this is not even to mention the fact that Justin Fields is not even playing this game. He's out with a concussion. Tyrod Taylor is in at quarterback. So, you know what that means. You know that spread says that it's 6.5? I'm taking it at 9.5. I think Jets are getting blown out. Buccaneers are at home, I think, for the first time all year so far. Give me minus 9.5 Buccaneers. Betting it, putting a unit on it. Jets are going to get blown out at least enough for, I think, 10 points. Buccaneers can win by 10 here. So, yeah. That's all I got to say about that one. Look at me, I'm zooming along this video. Next game, Colts versus Titans. Now, this game is important for the Colts. If they can beat the Titans, well, it won't really mean much by itself because I think, at least this year right now, the way they've been playing, the Colts are better than the Titans. But if Colts need to just keep up the momentum. Saints only lasted 2 weeks before they fell back down to earth last year when they were on an insanity run. Colts need to, if the Colts go 3-0, they gotta give them a little bit more respect. Cam Ward's still figuring it out. Wow, the line moved. What? The line moved crazy. It opened at minus 1.5. Were the Titans favored to win? Am I reading this right? Titans are favored to win. That's crazy. Well, yeah. Hang on. I need to go back and check something. Okay, no. Yeah, actually, yeah, they were favored to win. That's crazy. Okay, wow. All right, yeah, give me Colts to win, Colts to cover. I'm not gonna be betting this one because I don't really feel too strongly about it. Like I don't got any feeling in my tum tum about this game, but the way both teams are playing right now, Cam Ward, like I said, is still figuring it out. I don't think he's gonna be able to figure it out against this Daniel Jones legacy run. So yeah, Colts win probably. Indiana Jones, man, Indiana fucking Jones. Next game, Raiders versus Commanders. Raiders are coming off an ugly, ugly loss to the Chargers. And Commanders, in a similar vein, while not as ugly, the final score of the Packers-Commanders game last week made it out to be closer than it actually was. Commanders scored a garbage time touchdown, similar to how the Lions did in Week 1 against the Packers. Packers basically bullied them the whole game. So this is a game of both teams are coming off embarrassing losses and need to regroup, recuperate, and get another win under their belt. They're both 1-1 right now. I don't think Geno Smith is washed. Actually, I need to check something. Is Jayden Daniels playing this game? Because I heard that he got hurt at some point in the Packers game. And I need to check if Jayden Daniels is playing or if Marcus Mariota is in. Let's see. Jayden Daniels. He's questionable for now. What's the most recent injury update? Pulling out the phone here. He did not practice today, the Thursday. So he's got a knee sprain. So, all right. Here's what I'll say. I'm not gonna be betting this game, by the way, because of the injury, I'm gonna stay away from it. If Commanders, don't have Jayden Daniels, they go into this game with Marcus Mariota, they'll probably lose. But if they do have Jayden Daniels, they will win. So it kind of puts me in a tough situation here because I can't really change my pick mid video. We'll make it a conditional thing. Okay, I think this is one of those cases where it can be conditional. I'm not going to be betting it either way. So if Jayden Daniels plays, Commanders win. If Marcus Mariota plays, Raiders win. So we'll see what happens come Sunday. Next game, Broncos versus Chargers. I like this one. I like this game a lot. So Broncos are coming off a very frustrating loss. Reviewing the tape shows that the guy did put his hands on the center and did cost him the game against the Colts. So Colts probably should be 1-1 right now, but sadly, when the clock hit 0 and it says final, the clock did hit 0 and it did say final, but there was a flag thrown on the play, so I guess that doesn't totally apply. Here's the thing about the Chargers. Even though people say Broncos defense is top 5 in the league, I think people are sleeping on this Chargers defense. Granted, they have lost Khalil Mack to IR, so it'll take a little bit of a hit. But even without him, I still think Chargers defense is low-key better than the Broncos. And my evidence for this is that if you look at last year, the 2 times the Chargers played the Broncos in the regular season, they swept them. They showed off who had the better defense. And at that time, Justin Herbert wasn't playing at the level that he was right now, putting up the numbers that he's putting up these last 2 games. The run game was the only thing better about the Chargers last year than it was this year was that J.K. Dobbins was doing the run game a lot better than Omario Hampton and Najee Harris are right now. But they've got Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen. Oh my God, Keenan Allen. Back like he never left. Back like he only left for a year. Give me the Chargers to win here. Give me the Chargers to cover. I'm gonna bet the Chargers to cover. Even though this says -3, I never like taking the solid numbers. I always I always take the hooks. So give me Chargers at -2.5. I will be betting it because I do think that the Chargers on offense and defense are just better than the Broncos. And the way they're playing right now and the way the Chiefs are, like, stalling at the start of the season, Chargers may win the division. That's insane to think about. So give me the Chargers as long as Justin Herbert is on that Madison Bear pussy insanity run. Next game, Saints versus Seahawks. I'm not even going to waste my time talking about this one. Seahawks win, Seahawks cover, not betting it. Come on, man. I don't got to explain shit. Cowboys versus Bears. Oh, boy. What is going on with the spread? This does not make a lick of sense to me. Bears are 0-2. They just got blown the fuck out by the Lions. And they choked an embarrassing job against the Vikings in week 1. Cowboys, meanwhile, took the Super Bowl champions to the limit in the opening game of the year. And even though the Giants, taking them to overtime is more of a bad look for the Cowboys than the Giants, they did ultimately win the game. So, gotta give them something. Cowboys are, like, way more legit right now than the Bears. Why is this a pick'em? Why is this a pick'em? This makes no sense to me. I don't care that it's a home game for the Bears. I'm pretty sure it was a home game for the Eagles in the Super Bowl, not Super Bowl, the opening game of the week, week 1, and the Cowboys nearly beat them then. Why does it matter? It shouldn't matter. Give me the Cowboys to win, Cowboys to cover. This is too low. Maybe this is a trap. Maybe Vegas is setting a trap. Maybe they know something we don't, but I am betting against the shit-ass Bears. I'm betting against Caleb Williams. I'm taking Cowboys -2.5. They won by a field goal last week. They'll win by probably more this week, but I'll play it safe. I'll take it at just -2.5 because I'll still double my money at least. Betting it. I'm putting a unit on it. We're making the big boy bucks today. Cardinals versus 49ers. Mac Jones is still in at quarterback for the Niners. Cardinals are 2-0, but they're pretty fraudulent 2-0. They've only played shit teams. Meanwhile, 49ers are also 2-0, but they're definitely more legit, even though they both have a Saints win. So, in actuality, the Cardinals basically are 1-0, and 49ers are 1-0 if you take away their Saints wins. But 49ers beat the Seahawks. In this divisional matchup, give me the 49ers to win, 49ers to cover. Not going to be betting it because Mac Jones can still sell me. Kyler could put up a fight, but they still got Christian McCaffrey. Even without Kittle and without Purdy, McCaffrey alone could probably solo this Cardinals team. So give me 49ers to win, 49ers to cover. Not going to be betting this one, though. Next game. This is my biggest testicle to pick of the week. Probably my favorite game of the week. Chiefs versus Giants. Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era. That is insane. Giants are currently also 0-2. They had a embarrassing loss. Well, embarrassing in the sense that they couldn't really get anything going against the Commanders in week 1. And then they did, to their credit, they took the Cowboys to the limit. If it weren't for Russell Wilson having a horrible lapse in judgment and throwing a moon ball on 2nd and 13 down the field and getting intercepted in overtime. Yeah, that's bad. If it weren't for that, they probably would have beaten the Cowboys. So, meanwhile, the Chiefs, they kind of got outplayed by the Chargers, and even though there were some shenanigans going on with missed calls and the tush push, Travis Kelce dropping a horrible, easy open touchdown in the end zone, and then getting intercepted by the Eagles because of it. The Chiefs are stalling. Travis Kelce's head is not in the game. He doesn't care about football anymore. He's thinking about getting married to Taylor and his podcast and all the other shit. He's beyond football now. They might get Xavier Worthy back this week. They might not. Rashi's still suspended. Giants, meanwhile, though, yeah, also Chiefs don't have a run game figured out yet. I don't know what's going on with Pacheco and Hunt. Giants, if they can carry the momentum that they had from last week, if they can use the game plan there that they used against the Cowboys, they might have a shot. And the Chiefs, not only have they never gone 0-2 before in the Mahomes era, they've also never gone 0-3 until now, because I'm taking the Giants to win, Giants to cover. I'm betting the Giants money line, and I'm putting a unit on it. I'm betting on the Chiefs' downfall. I think this is the type of game where you think that the Chiefs would be like, oh, okay, we could beat the Giants and get us back on track. This game it's probably going to be close, but Giants are going to win it. And you heard it here first. Giants are going to win. Giants are going to cover. They're going to send the Chiefs to 0-3. And I'm going to laugh because the Chiefs might not make the playoffs this year if they keep playing the way they're playing. I'm throwing my whole dick and balls on the table here with this one. This is my highest odds bet yet so far. Just putting a unit on it though. Final game, Monday Night Football, Lions versus Ravens. Lions, my beautiful brand new Lions, are coming off a ultimately not that impressive of a win. Anytime you drop 50 on any team is impressive, but when you drop 50 on a shit-ass team like the Bears, it's not as impressive. Meanwhile, the Ravens are coming off a... Oh my god, what had happened in week... Yeah, of course, how could I forget the legendary choke job? They're coming off the week 1 choke job of all choke jobs, and then they took their anger out on the Browns. This game is in Baltimore, so it's going to be tough. Will never pick against my Lions. I will take the Lions to win and cover. I won't be betting this one because of all of our games on our schedule this week. I do think this could be one of the ones that we lose. Our defense might not be able to keep up with Derrick Henry and Lamar and the receivers. Ravens defense hasn't been that great, as you can see by them giving up all those points to the Bills in week 1. If we could do what we did to the Bears to the Ravens this Monday, we might have a shot. I think it could be close, but I think in the end, Lions might come up short. But I'll never pick against the Lions. I'm not going to be betting this game, but give me the Lions to win and Lions to cover. And with that is all of my predictions for Week 3 of the NFL season. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video, subscribe, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win. What are your picks for the week? And hey, if you're let me know if you're gonna be tailing any of my picks. I want to help you guys make money. Now, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm Neon Manta, and you'll see me next time.